Welcome into a For What It's Worth quick take episode number 10. And I have the boys with me. That's right. I have Tyrone, Thornton, Erik, Kellgren. Guys, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Like I was telling you earlier, I went to the dentist. That kind of sucked. Half of my day, I feel like I was even thinking about going to the dentist, and then the other half, my mouth is numb. So that part kind of sucked. But besides that, I'm chilling, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the dentist probably has to be one of the worst places to visit
Yeah,
in
I would
life,
agree.
just in general.
Not a fun place. There's nothing fun
No,
going on.
the
Zero fun.
dentist, the graveyard, and the emergency room, some terrible places to have to visit, if I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
I'm pulling all three of those.
Erik, did you have any horrors today, like going to the dentist, or was your day fun filled?
It was fine. I was at work all day. It was just me and chilling. Real shit.
Yeah.
Chasing that
Worked all day.
bag.
Went to my grandma's after that. Came home, showered, and back to work. You know what I'm saying?
You
Gotta
gotta
love
stay on that
grandma.
grind.
But
That's
I'm really
right.
upset that no one on the Ravens could catch a ball yesterday. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very disappointing showing from the Ravens. When just a couple weeks ago, if not a week ago, we were saying that they were the best team in the AFC, and then they go and lose to not only one of the worst teams in the AFC, but one of the worst teams in the NFL. But Jameis Winston, that guy is bound to have a game when you're just like, is this guy back? And then he'll come back down to earth real quick. But Erik, it sounds like you just want to jump right into it. And like I mentioned, this is a quick take episode. We haven't done one of these in a while. We have three topics that we're going to talk about through week 8. Right now, as we're recording, the Monday night game is going on, so won't talk much about that game. So if you're wondering what our opinions are on that, this is not the episode for you. But we do have some interesting topics to get to. Like I said, 7 minutes for each one. I have the timer right here on my phone. I will let you guys know, when we're like 5 minutes away, 3 minutes away. This could be more kind of like a free-for-all. Might not be as structured since we only have so much time. We have to get our thoughts across quicker. It should be interesting. But if you guys are ready, I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's get it.
All right, here we go. Timer starts now. And our first topic, we are going to talk the AFC because my power rankings, especially in the AFC, have switched up. You had the Jets losing to the Patriots. You had the Bengals losing to the Eagles. You had Baltimore losing to the Browns. Some games that really caught my eye and some, I guess, results that I didn't necessarily expect. But I want to look more at the playoffs. I know we're still a few weeks away, long season, but it's interesting because Tyrone, you sent me a tweet and it asked that about the wild card positions basically here in the AFC. So if we're saying that the Bills, Texans, Chiefs, Ravens, and Steelers, those are probably 5 teams that make it, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so who would be then the next 2 for you guys? Is what the question was asking of the tweet that you sent me, Ty. I've been talking a lot, so I'll let Tyrone go first. What are the 2 teams from the AFC that I didn't list there that you think could take a wild card spot?
I'm gonna go with number 1, the Broncos. I think that they're 5-3, having that advantage so far in the season. Getting out to that start is really good. The Bengals, I don't. They're the best team of all the best team of all the teams that grab that wild card spot. But being 3-5, just like Joe Burrow said, they can maybe lose 1-2 more games. So
Yep.
I'll go with the Broncos and the Bengals. The other teams, I don't have no trust in any of them.
Yeah, I'll get to mine here in a second. I will say I do agree with you on the Broncos. I'm not sure if I'm quite there on the Bengals because of that defense. I understand that they've tightened down a little bit in spots the past couple weeks, but Burrow too hasn't. He played really well, and I'm not saying he's playing bad, but he kind of took a step back the past couple weeks. Erik, who do you think could fill in those 2 wild card spots of teams that I did not list?
Yeah, I like the Broncos as well. Just because their defense is good. I think if Bo
So
Nix
good.
just
Elite.
basically, he just has to play good. He doesn't have to play extraordinary. He just needs to play good and just not be dumb, basically. And the defense should do the rest. I think maybe the Chargers, honestly, because I'm looking at this here. Bengals, that defense is just not playoff
It's
worthy.
not very good.
I think Dolphins with Tua back, but now they're 2-5. That's pretty much a lost cause, I think, unless they have the best season ever. So, and then the Colts, Anthony Richardson literally gave up on the game. So,
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go Broncos Chargers. Let's just give the whole
3 AFC West.
Let's just get AFC West just all in there.
That's why I was a little bit. We got 3.5 minutes. That's why I was a little nervous of including the Chargers myself. I do have the Broncos. That defense is elite. We were talking. Bo Nix doesn't have to play super amazing. He just has to get the job done, and he has. He has been, and he hasn't been turning the ball over that much. What? Maybe he's had one interception the past 3 weeks.
He's 8 in his last 3 games. He's 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. He also is leading rookies in touchdowns. He's not even. I would say he's doing his job, but I'll say he's balling out. This last week, he literally was balling out. Literally, he balled out. He went crazy.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
3 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. He's not turning the ball over. What more do you want from him? So I like that there. With the Colts, I think if they go Joe Flacco, I think they could make it. Joe Flacco is a guy that could carry or could coast you the rest of the way, the rest of the season, and you could get that playoff spot. I think if the Dolphins weren't 2-5, weren't sitting in that spot, I would say that they probably have the best chance with Tyreek back, with Tua back. They have a favorable schedule, which is why I still don't want to count them out, but they do have a long ways to go. You know what? I'm going to be different here so we all have different answers. I'm going to go Colts. I think if they go Joe Flacco, I think they can still save the season here. I just don't think Anthony Richardson is going to be the guy to do it. As Erik said, he's coming out mid-plays. You can't be doing that.
I like the Colts as well. I think Flacco has a better chance to lead them, obviously, than Anthony Richardson at this point. But their defense also is not that good either. It's kind of in the same boat with the Bengals, and the Bengals have a more high-powered offense. So, kind of in the same boat there.
I think that you guys are right. If Joe Flacco was the starting quarterback, that they would have a great shot at making the playoffs. But I don't think he's going to be the starting quarterback. Because if you take Anthony Richardson that high and you just don't start him for an entire year, that's like wasting. What is that? Opportunity cost. You lost the value that you put in that pick. So for the sake of the general manager, the coach might say, "Hey, we need Joe Flacco to start," but the general manager has to say, "For my job, I need him to start at least for 1 year, or I'm going to look really stupid." So I think
what's wrong with him learning behind Joe Flacco for another year? Why are we trying to rush him? We don't have to rush.
He didn't play this year. All right, then going into next year, that would be his 3rd year without playing a full season of football. Then after that, it's like, well, now is he really worth it? We might as well draft another quarterback. If we want to wait 3 years, what's going on? So I think the Colts, I think they're just going to sacrifice the season and let him ball. If he balls out and improves, they'll make the playoffs. And if he doesn't, actually, he might fake an injury. Who knows? Joe Flacco might do something.
I'm saying they might go Joe Flacco. You have him on your bench. He's proven. I mean, look what he did for the Browns. It's not like your season's over. We got 30 seconds. Erik, Ty, anything last you want to say about this one?
Chargers are not making the playoffs. They're just such pretenders. The Broncos would have beat them and been 6-2 if PS2 was healthy. They just played a semi-competitive game with the Saints, who the Broncos beat by like 1 million points. Not a good football team. No receivers. Their team is butt.
Erik, 8 seconds. Anything?
No.
All right. That was our topic there. That was fun because we all had different answers, different ways that we went about that, but we all agreed. I think that the Broncos were the common factor for all of us here that would make likely to take one of the wild card spots. All right. Let's stay AFC because I mentioned Ravens losing to the Browns. Not the greatest look. Obviously not season ending or anything like that. Just not a great look in the moment. So the question here is, before I start the timer, are the Texans or are the Ravens the true chief killers? Time starts now. I'll go first. This is a lot closer than what you think. For a while there, I was thinking Ravens. I was thinking Ravens. But after seeing them, for whatever reason, not be able to get the run game going or just physically not trying to get the run game going against Baltimore, taking a loss against them, Houston's right there when it comes to taking them down when it comes to the playoffs. But I had to ask myself this because the defenses, I'm not putting one way above the other, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. What I had to ask myself is, when it comes down to it, who has the better quarterback at the end of the day? And I have to go Lamar Jackson. And I have to think too that Lamar knows how to handle the Chiefs in the postseason and the stress like that. Now he hasn't been able to take him down, but he understands what it feels like, maybe how to get it going. Where CJ Stroud hasn't had that experience yet. He hasn't had to face the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs yet. So that would also be a factor. So I'm still, they have the better run game. Over now, Joe Mixon is no joke over there for the Texans, but Derrick Henry's a different beast. So while it's very close, I'm still going Ravens. Tyrone?
I'm going to 100% agree with you. The Baltimore Ravens are, there has been rumors or people are saying that they are the best team in the NFL, the best team in the AFC. Nobody has said that once about the Texans this year, and that's for a reason because they're not that. And Stephon Diggs just tore his ACL, I believe, so you're out.
And Diggs, they don't have Nico Collins.
And Nico Collins and Mixon, he just came off an injury, so I'm not saying he's injury prone, but I mean, all of these skilled players you have, they're getting hurt. And secondly, I think the Ravens, they need to take maybe an NBA approach of peaking at the right time in the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be fine. They just have to be ready for the one day that they have to play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. That's the only game that matters. That's it. All these other games are just literal practice. They had already had the postseason or the regular season success last year. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, getting the 1 seed didn't matter. So might as well just use this all for prep. And they didn't do their job last game. So the next game do their job. It's not like they're going to miss the playoffs. So I think they're the biggest threat to the Chiefs still, just due to the fact that they have the best quarterback in the AFC, not named Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. Erik?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously the Ravens, I think.
Obviously, okay.
I mean, I don't think the Texans have showed, like, eliteness yet, in my opinion. I just don't think they've been, like, last year, I feel like they were, like, so fun to watch and, like, they've had that. But, like, I mean, it is kind of, like, Nico's hurt. Now Davis hurt, so that kind of sucks. But, I mean, Lamar's literally looked the best that he's looked his entire career, in my opinion. And his receivers can't catch the ball. Well, that was really only the last game, but they lost to the Chiefs. Isaiah Likely's toe was out of bounds. They were right there.
Like the Ravens' peak is so high that like games like this, they happen 1 in every 5 games. But when they peak for like 3 to 4 games, they look it's just crazy.
Yeah.
And the Texans don't have a peak like that. At least not this year. They've just been winning games. Like they beat the Colts, but that was like, I mean, they just won. Like they just won the game against a team that's average.
Yeah. Like I'm coming back down to, I think really comes down who can run the ball better. And it has to be the Ravens if they truly go with the trust of running the ball. If they don't do what they did against the Chiefs last season in the AFC and decide to forget that they could run the ball and just totally rely on Lamar. Now, Lamar is a great talent, but when you have a run game, go to it. You can't be too one-dimensional, especially in an AFC championship. So, again, I don't necessarily know why the Ravens couldn't get the run going or weren't trying to get the run going as much. They still rushed for 124 yards as a team, but Derrick Henry only has 73 yards, and it resulted in a loss. And we were talking a couple podcast episodes ago, when he's reaching over, I think it was 120, 130 himself, they're winning. It all starts with the run game. Can you run the ball? And I think that the Ravens have the better run game than the Texans, bearing no injuries to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And just like Erik was saying, the Ravens receivers suck. That video, I think that was Bateman, the ball.
Yeah, it was
like this. That's bad. That's like really bad. You're an NFL player. You're turning for the ball. It's hitting you in your chest. That's ridiculous. If I was him, I would have smacked the back of his helmet.
And he literally caught it like this, and they like hit him in the.
Yeah, that's like that's almost. I'm not gonna say it's as bad as the dude from the Bears, but hey, he's close up there. The ball hitting you in your chest as a receiver when I need you the most.
That wasn't even like. He was like, very separated, and he had like a ball like here. Like should be a routine catch almost.
It hit his chest.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Chest, man.
So I went back to what you were talking about because I wanted to double check because I couldn't remember exactly how much each game was by. But yeah, the Texans have scraped by 29-27 win, a 19-13 win against the Bears. Then they got pummeled by the Vikings. Then they had a 24-21 against the Jags, a 23-21 against the Bills. They demolished the Patriots by 20. They lost to the Packers by 2. Then they beat the Colts by 3. Is anything else you guys want to say with 15 seconds remaining?
Hey, the Baltimore Ravens defense, receivers, coaches, everybody besides Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, lock in. Everybody. All of y'all for real. Everybody else.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go to our last topic here. Whoops, I almost started the timer and I haven't even asked the question here. It's not even really a question. I'm just going to kind of throw out what we think about these NFC teams, and we're just going to go from there. All right. Timer has started. We got 7 minutes here. Let's start with the Vikings, who lost. Now, that's 2 losses in a row, guys. This is kind of throwing back to when they started. What year was that? They started, was it 20? I'd have to double check. 2016 maybe. I'll have to double check. But they started 5-0, and then I think they ended up missing the playoffs. Are you guys worried about the Vikings at all after dropping 2 straight off the bye?
Yeah, 1,000%. Yes, you lost 2 games in a row. Really, really great teams don't lose 2 games in a row. I'd be very surprised. Like Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose 2 games in a row. Lamar Jackson doesn't lose 2 in a row. Like these are very rare occasions that these people do that. And Sam Darnold is your quarterback. He's not somebody that you could. I mean, you could trust him in this small sample size, but like if you take a scope out, this could lead to like, we lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row. Then all right, now who's our backup quarterback?
Erik?
I'm pretty sure on a previous episode we were talking about it was either whenever they were 5-0 still, or maybe it was even before that, but they were undefeated, I believe. And I said Vikings are due for some major regression because they cannot be this good. And now they have lost 2 straight, and I don't know who they play next week, but
well, let's go over that. I'll tell you right now.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Here we go. Here's their next couple games. They got the Colts, which they are going through their quarterback thing right now. We'll see who comes.
If they lose the Colts, it might be over.
Then they got the Jags. They can win that. They got the Titans. They can win that. They got the Bears. I mean, that might be a good game. They could win that, though. Then they got the Cardinals, who are kind of sneaky right now. It's a little sneaky.
Yeah, they just win a game and then lose a game and then win a game. So if they match up the right pattern, they'll win.
Yep, and then they got Falcons, and then they close it out with Bears, Seahawks, Packers, Lions, which is a tough last 4 games. But
the first four of their next games, if they lose more than one of those, which should be the Bears, then it's probably going to be pretty tragic.
Yep, Colts, Jags, Titans, Bears, and I was right. It was 2016, the last time the Vikings started 5-0, went to the bye. They came out, they went 3-8 the rest of the way. All right, let's continue on with some other teams. Yeah, Commanders. Here's how I view the Commanders. I think they're going to have a season like the Texans had last year. I think they're probably going to win the division, huh? Because I was going to say, I think they get
5-2. I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still trust the Eagles, though, because I was going to say I view the Commanders of having a season like the Texans where they could have picked up a wild card win and then probably lose the next game in the playoffs, but they might win the division. I still think they could get a playoff win, but I don't think they get more than that.
I think it's crazy that whenever we were doing our preseason division stuff, I said the Commanders, and I think they were like 600 or more maybe to win the division, and I didn't bet it, and I should have. That was silly of me.
Oh man,
I made Ty bet the Broncos over. I should have bet the Commanders. I should have bet
the cheese now.
Jaden Daniels is just having a better rookie season than Caleb Williams, and he's the best rookie in the class.
Oh yeah,
we will see. I don't know. There's some dude in Denver. He's balling out. He got the same record and more passing touchdowns. So I don't know. I don't know.
They don't have the same record.
I do. I like the Commanders. They're due for that. They're this year's Texans team. But I don't think the NFC is just so weird because right now there's only one A+ team, and that's the Lions, and they have a lot of like B- teams, C+ teams, B teams, not a lot of A+ teams over there. So the NFC is just, I don't know. This is a hard conference to predict.
Yep. Speaking of that, 49ers, a team that once they will have everyone is really good. They just don't have everyone. They're pretty banged up. They just got to coast and then come out of the bye. and just keep their head afloat, because like I said, on paper the defense is good, the offense is really good. It's just, can they get everyone to stay healthy, or get everyone healthy and stay afloat by the time the playoffs come around? What do you guys think about the 49ers?
I think this season of 49ers I think it's really good, and not good as in there's players being hurt, but this is the best thing for their team to happen, or positive out of this, is that you get to really see what Brock Purdy is. And I think that he's showing his true colors. And like I said, they're one of those teams that's like a B-, C+. And I think that's just a representation of what Brock Purdy is. So when he gets paid, they're going to take all of these games into consideration, whether it's they win a playoff game, they don't make the playoffs, they go to the NFC Championship. That will be, Brock Purdy should get most of the pie for whatever they do.
Erik, anything? We got 1:30 left.
I think, I don't know. I think, Ty, you might have been in the same boat as me here, but like, just with Brock Purdy having so many weapons that he wasn't that good. Like, he managed games well. And I think, Calvin, you were on the opposite side of that. And now the true colors are really showing that he doesn't have his weapons and he is not good. As good as he was last year or whatever. They're a 500 team with all that stuff.
That's cool, though. I don't think that's a slight though for Brock Purdy. I think that's cool.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like, people think Brock Purdy's like way too good, and it's not the case.
He's not the elite talents of like Josh Allen's, Lamar Jackson's, Sam Stafford. None of those, but all right, let's not get too carried away. We got 40 seconds.
And he has a better record than Brock Purdy.
Are the Packers the other team likely to come out of the NFC other than the Lions?
Yeah, they're winning games with Malik Willis at quarterback. Malik Willis has more wins than Aaron Rodgers this season.
That is crazy. Yeah, Jordan Love goes down. Willis comes in, gets something done. And last thing I want to ask, 13 seconds. Cardinals, should we be worried?
No, this is exactly what the Cardinals team is. They're up and down. Just a team that just could score 0 points or score 40. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not quite sold on them yet either. All right, there we go.
9-8 probably.
9-8. All right, there we go. That was a quick take episode. That was fun. We met all our times today.
Right.
Didn't go over. Man, look at us. I thought we might be a little rusty, but we got right to it. We knew what we wanted to say, and that was a lot of fun. As mentioned, this was quick take episode number 10. You can go ahead and follow us on all our socials. We really appreciate it. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. Just go ahead, type in For What It's Worth podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, favorite, do whatever you guys can. We really appreciate it. Anything you guys want to say before I officially wrap it up?
2 things. Number 1, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Do me a favor, guys. I need you guys to lose this game. Lose this game next Monday, next week from now. Lose it. I need this to happen. This is my dream reality. That the Broncos go in there, they play the best quarterback in the world, and they lose to Lamar Jackson. Then the next week they go and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who are undefeated. That would be pretty nice. So, Bucks, do your part in that, and then this will be fine.
That is it for this episode of For What It's Worth. We appreciate it. Until next time, have a good one.